bed last night, I had told my husband, I really believe that there's going to be a world leader that is going to pass away underneath this Mars-Pluto opposition before the end of April. So when I woke up this morning, he told me, well, a world leader has died, and Pope Francis was my second guess. So I'm not surprised at all. I hope you guys will all go watch that video, that live that I did. But I do believe that we choose our death, and I do believe that this Biwheel reveals that he died peacefully and he died on his own terms. Even though it was said that he died of a stroke and a heart attack, I do not believe he felt any pain. And I believe he was called to a higher good. I have a really special affinity for Pope Francis, and I believe that he chose the time he wanted to die. What better day than the day after Easter for a Jesuit Pope to pass away? I have his birth chart in a biwheel with his death chart. It's actually quite magical. I want to show you the biwheel. This is quite shocking. So the first thing that is so fascinating is the North Node is on his Saturn in the house of death. And so I do think he was called for higher responsibility. Now, maybe he will come back as a guardian angel from the other side for those who are still in need. I also think it's fascinating that Jupiter is sitting on his Chiron in the 12th house. Again, another divine marker to be called to God. I also find it very interesting that transiting Jupiter is opposing his sun. And so I think the way in which the world is moving philosophically and politically really conflicted with his soul's great work. And that might have given him the stress to cause the cardiac arrest. I find it utterly fascinating, and you guys should all go watch my Pluto opposing Mars live stream where I read your charts, but he actually has transiting Mars on his Pluto, and he has his Pluto opposing transiting Pluto, which if you live that long, you will also experience that, and that is very tough to live through. On April 21st, we have a huge wow factor with Pluto, the planet of death, again, conjunct the moon exact at the time of his death. And it is sitting on his Venus and his moon in the 7th house of other people. So this would also be a very difficult transit to make it through. And you can see he died on his own moon sign. So I do think this suggests that he was quite comfortable when he passed away. Another divine spiritual marker in the chart is that the transiting South Node is sitting on his Neptune. This also suggests that he was called back to be in service to God. He died in service, also with the Sun conjunct Uranus. That is a very difficult placement in the 10th house of the public. And so I do think his death, even though he was frail, did shock everybody. And maybe it was because he died right after Easter.